Well, my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. Had a busy day already, I can tell you that for sure. I got up, well, by 8 o'clock I was in town having blood drawn from my, it was a follow-up from, I guess, my doctor's visit on Friday. He wanted to have lab work done. I think this was a routine thing. It wasn't anything he was suspecting or anything. Though my doctor, he's 38, seems to be, for our area, a pretty good doctor. And quite honestly, I don't mean to put him down, but I haven't run into a doctor since I lost our good family doctor, Dr. Livingston, years ago. I haven't found any doctor that's even sort of in his ballpark, but this guy is the closest I've found so far. Well, anyway, he's only 38, and he informed me that he had 2 strokes since I was last there. Well, since I last saw him. Actually, when I went in I don't know, was it June or July I was in there? It was a nurse's, or what do you call it? One of those nurse practitioners, I think. Anyway, that's who I saw. I didn't actually see him, and they just said he was out. They didn't say why. Well, apparently that's when he was having his strokes. He had 2 strokes. He says that he feels they were COVID-induced, and I don't know. But anyway, it messed up his right side of his body. It didn't mess up his cognitive function. I mean, his brain was, his thinking and all that, it didn't hurt any of that. It hurt his mobility on his right side. He had to learn to walk again, he said, and he has to keep his right side. I might be wrong. It might be his left side. But anyway, one side or the other, he's got to keep it insulated. Because even like a cold sheet, like when you go to bed at night, just a touch of that cold, he says it makes it feel like you're burning on fire, like there's a match, you're holding a match to your skin. I can't imagine, but he's only 38 years old. Well, because of that, he's really into checking blood pressure and stuff like that. Well, mine was, to be honest, I didn't feel like mine was any different than it's ever been. But he just felt like it was time to up the blood pressure medicine. So he upped it a little bit. Actually, he didn't up the losartan. I was on losartan. I think it's 100 milligrams. He added another one to it, something peen. I don't know. I don't remember what it was now, but anyway, it's some little, and he made it a very, very small dose. I think it's only like 2 milligrams or something. He said he was on 10 milligrams. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. I don't really feel like my blood pressure is much of an issue, although that could be my famous last words. I've had high blood pressure my whole life. Even when I was a kid, the doctors would always say, "Oh, your blood pressure is a little high." As a kid, it was always high. I feel like that's just my norm, but I don't know. I don't know. Just, you don't know. Anyway, so when I got back from that, well, then I went straight down to the shop and I welded and worked on a project down there for about an hour and a half. I'll show you that here in a minute. This coming Thursday, we'll have our play along again, and I'm having my secret weapon show up. My secret weapon is Cash, if you didn't know. Cash, I really do, people, some of you even said, "Don't you think you're turning him loose a little early?" Well, and I know his grandma and Cash were not happy about the fact that I turned him loose. I gave him lessons for about a year, and then I could see he wasn't improving unless I improved him. You know what I'm saying? In other words, he wasn't doing anything on his own. He would do what I showed him and what I taught him, but that was it. Nothing else. He never went that far beyond what I was showing him. So I, cut the cord and I said, "Look, Cash, you're going to have to learn how to do this on your own. You're going to have to do it, And so I said, "I'll be here in case you need anything. If I see you at a jam and you're having a problem with something, we'll come back in and we'll work on it. But right now, I need to see you do this on your own." So I turned him loose. Well, it was the right thing at the right time because he has really come on. He's really come on. I'm really proud of him. He's really doing good, and you'll get to see him Thursday. Yeah, it's amazing to me. If you could have just saw him like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Of course, he was little, but it was just even 2 years ago. When I first started with him, if you could have just seen how poor his timing was, it was unbelievable. And where he's at now, it's just night and day difference. He's just doing so well. I put a link in the description of this video, a kind of a last-minute thought about the song "Mary Did You Know." I bet I've watched, and I'm not exaggerating, I bet I've watched 20 different versions of that song. The one I put the link to is by Megan Tibbetts. She's playing a harp, and she does stuff with her voice in that song that you just can't do. It's just unbelievable. I'm not saying it's the very best version of the song out there, but it'll compete with any version out there for sure. It's incredible. The girl just killed it, just flat killed it. So be sure to listen all the way through, because it's about 2/3 of the way through where she goes up with her voice, and I just don't know where she's going to go, and she just keeps going. It's amazing, just amazing. Well, here's the first of 4 little videos I have for you this morning. None of them are real long, but here's the first one.
Well, I got to say, it never gets old pulling in and seeing the water wheel doing its thing. I just love it.
Yeah, that was this morning, and you could see that sucker's really spinning. It's been doing quite a bit of drizzling and raining. Not real hard rain, but it's enough that it's soaking in. I wish we would have got this past summer. But, it's really nice out here today. I might just take off and go metal detecting today, because it's just really tempting today. I need to get back down there and work on my project. Again, I'll show you the project here in a second, but boy, it's calling my name, the metal detecting thing. Here's another little video clip. Take a look at this.
Well, those of you who've been following along on the vlogs saw me cut this leaning tree down, and I just now came up here and hand split the rest of the tree. So it was basically 2 full Ranger loads. There's the stump. And I split this all with the little splitting mauls there. That's all I used. It's a big job, but I guess I can still do it after turning 70. I had my doubts.
Yeah, that wasn't no fun thing. See, the Bobcat's still in the hospital. We heard from the guy over the weekend, though. He is working on it, definitely, and I think he's waiting on some parts and stuff. I'm hoping to get it back, maybe by the end of this week. I doubt I'd get it back any sooner than that, but it would be nice if I could get it back that quick. Anyway, so that, having the Bobcat would allow me to take the big splitter up there and split all this wood with the Bobcat. Now, I split the smallest stuff. That was the smallest tree. The other 2 trees are much bigger. And, the bigger they are, the harder they are to split. So it would be nice to take the big splitter up there. I mean, there's plenty of other wood I could cut if I need to. So, it's not like I have to split it. But, I think I just did it to say I did it. Anyway, here's another little video. I told you about Sue's remodeling project. So here's a little bit of an update on that.
This is the creek room. The creek runs under the floor through here, and this is the room we've never known what to do with. And she completely repainted it, did the ceiling. She completely re-drywalled the ceiling. I mean, not drywall, but she taped the ceiling. I put in the new ceiling fan, and she actually built this plant bench out of some of the rough sawed lumber that I had, the rough sawed walnut, and she put them on some legs there that she got from our late friend Jack Zert, who was that famous photographer. He had all this kind of stuff as props, and she just really did a nice job. She's got her plant sitting on this, and that's one of her horses there. She's going to be decorating with more stuff in here. We're not done yet, but I just thought I'd show you. The carpet used to be a blue color. In this room, she carried the carpet on. She installed these big rocks all by herself, and trust me, those are heavy. Those are not fake. Those are real rock. I don't know what they weigh, but a whole lot more than I weigh. I can tell you that. They're very heavy. She created this little scene here, if you will, some of the instruments. That one I made, and that one I made. This was the first guitar I bought with my own money. You can't see it because of the glare, but that's a Gibson Jubilee. Maybe you can see it that way. Turn it. Anyway, get the glare off there a little bit. That's it, Gibson Jubilee. And here's Grandpa's old fiddle down here. She's got a light on that. Let me see if I can find the light. There it is. There's the light. So there you go. She did a nice job making that display. There was the cabinet was already there. She just put new wood on the background and painted it and everything. Did a real nice job. And she is presently working on these walnut walls. These are real walnut walls. They're not paneling. It's solid walnut, inch thick walnut all the way around. And all the walnut was cut here on the farm as well. She is presently building herself a computer table, which is going to match the bench that's inside there, or that I showed you earlier. She's building a computer table that's very similar to that. It's going to be a little bigger. And then she also retiled my table I built. This was a table I built out of cherry, and it's a drop leaf table. And you can, it's got a leaf on both sides. I made that from scratch from a cherry tree that I cut down where I built my first workshop. It used to have tile in it that matched our old house, and I was kind of nostalgic. I didn't want her to change it, but she changed it to this tile, which is more generic, I guess. That doesn't really match anything. I mean, well, it matches the room and matches the decor, but what I mean is it didn't, it didn't go to this house or anything. So I was a little bit uptight about that, but I said, fine, go ahead and change it. I didn't really care. But, on the other hand, it was a neat reminder of our old house. But anyway, she'll be sitting here at her desk when she finishes it with a wonderful view out there. Looks like we have somebody pulling in down at the shop. That's probably some delivery.
Well, anyway, that's two rooms. The room there with the walnut siding and everything, we call that the library. The other room, we don't know what to call it. I just call it the creek room. But we've really never had any idea what to do with that room. It just is a room, It's kind of in between. It's in between the master bedroom, master bathroom, and the library, and it just kind of is what it is. Let's see. Now for the big project. Now this may not seem that big, but I bet I've worked, I don't know, 15, 16 hours on this already, probably. Solid.
Well, this is my most recent project. This is actually looking good now. I should have taken a before for sure. This thing was so bent and twisted and just horrible shape. I had to actually cut it out all the way across there, put it in my shop press over there, and press it straight and square. And even then, I couldn't get it just right. I was pressing the heck out of it, and I had to cut it in other places and more places to get it to weld back in there. I had to cut the seam across there to get that all straightened out. It was really, really a mess. And there was tons of just chicken poop weld that somebody had put on top of the thing, and it was a mess, just a flat mess. Well, I've just about got it back to standard, if you will. It's about back to where it should be. And now I'm going to find like heavy angle, put across this corner and weld it, maybe across this corner, weld it, maybe something across that back and weld it. For sure, something underneath this all the way across and weld it. I don't know. There's just going to be a lot of strengthening. And then it should be a really good grapple bucket for the foreseeable future.
Got so many things here, I couldn't find it on the page. Back to the camera. Okay. Anyway, that project is a big one. It's way big. I could have bought a grapple bucket. I got the money. I could buy one, but doggone, they're a couple $1,000s or whatever. And you might say, well, you spent that in your time. And yeah, I probably did. But on the other hand, then what do you do with that old bucket? I mean, you could take it to a recycler, and we know how efficient all that is. So to me, it's just fix it, and it'll last probably forever if I fix it right. And it's just as good as a brand new one to me. I mean, all I care about is will it pick up a log, and it will for sure. So it's good enough. That's the way I look at it. Just simple. Keep it simple. Although it's not simple fixing it, I can tell you that for sure. It was not simple. Not at all. I've been making a video on it. I don't know if it's going to turn into a video that I'll release or not, but I think it will. Let's go to the comments. We got Rod Wintler in there, first thing, and Bill Mumbo and Joe Nigan. Let's see. And then I put a link in the comments also to that Megan Tibbetts Mary, did you know? And I really be sure to check that out. Seriously, it's really good. It sends chills down your spine, man. I'm seriously telling you, it sends chills down your spine. She is that good. It gets up on these high notes, and you just can't imagine her where she can take it from there. And then she just goes on up higher. It's just nuts. Just crazy good. You kind of think she's sung herself into a corner, but she doesn't. She just comes right on out of it. It's amazing. Let's see. Moving on down. Bill Rhodes, good afternoon. And Bill asked me if I remembered to talk to the doctor about the gabapentin or whatever that is. No, I didn't, Bill, and I'm sorry. I meant to. I could hardly get a word in edgewise. He was telling me so much about his strokes and everything, and how he just went on and on about it. And he went through the ringer. I can tell you that for sure. He's lucky to be back to being a doctor again. Yeah. So anyway, I honestly just completely forgot. It escaped my brain. And quite honestly, and I know some of you think I'm stupid, but it's just the truth, and that is that I'm really not even trying to fix this anymore. To me, it just is what it is. It's really painful. It just doesn't go away. And as a matter of fact, it woke me up screaming again last night. I woke up about midnight just screaming in pain. I was just yelling out in pain. It just hurts so dang bad. And have to get up and start walking around and moving, to get rid of it. And nothing helps. I mean, nothing. I mean, I've tried a gazillion things. And I just went in and took like 3 aspirins and then just watched YouTube for a couple hours and then went back to sleep eventually. Got up and went and gave blood. I hope that aspirin didn't affect my blood, but you never know. It might have. Of course, I took the aspirin about midnight, and I gave blood about 8 o'clock, so it shouldn't be a big deal, I wouldn't think. But anyway, you never know. Let's see. BH Ringer, Jerry, you can pin that link to the top chat. Mouse to right of your comment till you see. Okay, I'll see. Yeah, I see that there. Let me click on that and see if it'll let me. No, it's not doing anything. I click on those 3 dots and it's not doing a thing. That's just my normal luck, though. I mean, like anybody else could click on that and get a result. I'm getting nothing. So there you go. That's just the way it works for me. Todd says, Jerry, the man who never stops, love your energy. Why don't you and the wife take a vacation somewhere like warm Hawaii? Don't say that out loud. She loves going to warm places. Yeah. Let's see here. Something's happened. I can't even get it. Uh-oh. Did I lose everybody? Everything's locked up. I don't know. It seems like it's sort of working. I can't tell. Everything's locked up. I mean, it's locked up. There we go. All right, I got it to move again. It's crazy. I can't catch a break. After we went live, Eddie Turner says, I just right-clicked on the comment link and copied it. Okay? Sidecar Bob, afternoon all from rainy central Ontario. At least you don't have to shovel rain. No, that's true. Sometimes, though, you have to either get a boat or swim in it around here, especially. Eddie Turner, potassium. Okay. Nope, I don't think it's potassium. If that extra drug he added, it's not. Well, I mean, it might have potassium in it. That's not what it's called, though. Something apabanamine or something. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. I'm probably not even close. I just put one in my mouth. That's all I do. Eddie Turner, read the side effects on gabapentin. Yeah, and that was the other thing I am really strict about with him. I keep telling him I don't want nothing that's got side effects. If it's got side effects, I'm not interested. Now, he said this one could have a minor side effect, but he said with the low dosage I'm on, he said you shouldn't have any side effects. He was on higher dosage, and he didn't have any side effects. So if I notice any side effects, I'm going to tell you right now, I won't be taking it. It's bad enough the way it is. Medicines are terrible, and yeah, I don't know. That's just me. Kim Williford, I'd love to see Cash again. It's amazing where he is today. I'm thinking he might have been a little scared to expand his knowledge under your wing. Yeah, I don't think that was even it. Honestly, it was more like he had taken lessons for quite a few years before I got a hold of him. And he was just used to having the instructor just give him everything. You know, like in other words, the previous teacher fed him what he was supposed to do. And basically, that's what he was expecting me to do. But that's not how I work. I worked on him until I could tell he understood his timing. I worked on it, and that's what my goal was to fix the timing problem. And then I more or less just said, if you really want to do this, you'll do this, and you'll find a way to learn these songs on your own. He didn't need me to teach him the song. He needed me to teach him the timing. And I taught him the timing. And I was really expecting him to learn some on his own. I would give him assignments to learn a new song and bring it to me, and he never did, And so I just finally cut the cord, and it was the best thing I could have done because he's learned a lot of songs, and he's doing it all on his own, and he's doing it really well. And I couldn't be more proud. He's really doing good. Ronald Todd, Jerry, you definitely need to put a generator on that water wheel sometime in the future. Well, I don't disagree with you. It's just getting to it, Man, I got so many irons in the fire. It's just unbelievable. I could talk all day about how many things I need to do. And what do I want to do? I want to go metal detecting. I want to find some more Civil War stuff. Sidecar Bob, the fact that you consider Cash your secret weapon says a lot. I take that as an indication that you consider him someone you enjoy playing with instead of someone who need help a lot. Yeah, he's a good kid. His grandmother and his parents warned me that he's really headstrong. He's really hard to get I don't know how to explain it, like he's got his own ideas, And so I said, don't worry about that. I'm good at handling that kind of kid. That's not going to be a problem. And it wasn't. It wasn't a problem. I just, he would start something like that, and I would just cut him off and say, look, bud, here's how it's going to be. This is the way we're doing it. And, he'd just shut up, and we'd do it that way, And I just, he knew I was not mad or mean or nothing. He could tell I was kidding around, but on the other hand, I was also serious. David Tharp, howdy all. I before E except after C. Science disproved that. Yep, I agree with you. Kim Williford, Jerry, please tell Sue I said wonderful job. It's beautiful, pretty picture of her horse. Yeah, I thought that was a real pretty picture myself. I think, I don't know this for sure, but I think Emery took the picture. Emery's really good photographer, and I think she took the picture, and then Sue had it blown up, I think, at Walgreens. Kim Williford, David Tharp is at it again. LOL. Yes, he is. No, it's not again. It's still. He's at it still. Let's see. Wavy Gravy, Sue is your real secret weapon. Yeah, well, that's for sure. That's for sure. Especially the fact that she cuts the grass. Bill Webb, good afternoon, Jerry and friends. Excuse me. I never get rid of these stupid coughs. Sidecar Bob, actually, there are as many IE words as EI words. C or no C. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of them. I know. Well, that's the one thing that you can really count on in the English language is that there's no black and white anything. It's like there's this rule, except for these 19 exceptions. And that's the way it is with the English language. Wavy Gravy. I used to dream I was in a wigwam and then a teepee. I know where this is going. I've heard this one. Back and forth like that all night long. This went on for weeks until my doctor told me I was too tense. Yep. Let's see. Donald Matthews. Amaldipine. That sounds close. I don't know if that's it or not, but that sounds close. That could be it. It could be it. SSD Bling said the same thing. Okay. Amlodipine. That's amlodipine. That's the way you would say it, I guess. Anyway, Diane Craver, how about amlodipine for the blood pressure? That could be it. I mean, it seriously could be. Bill Webb, I think a sliding barn door would look good on the water wheel house. Well, that might be the best, except that I've got a regular door that I'm going to put in it. It's got a window in it. I've already bought the doors. I just haven't had time. And I need to get on the roof. And I need to get back on the dump truck. And I need to get on the roof of this house. There's a place or two that's got a problem. And I could go on for hours on all the things I need to do. And what I really need to do is cut a bunch of wood. That's what I really need to do. Let's see. David Tharp says, I just had my patience tested. I was negative. Let's see. Ronald Todd, he who lets wife cut grass must be good lawnmower mechanic. That is for sure. I didn't really prove that real well the last time we had a problem with it, but yeah, I have pretty much rebuilt everything on that lawnmower, and I think it's a 2001, I think, and I've pretty much rebuilt everything on it. But it honestly, whether you believe it or not, it operates like a brand new one. Because I've kept it up in tip-top shape, and I keep it up in tip-top shape for a reason, so I don't have to deal with it. B.H. Ringer, my name is Jerry 2. Maybe if you start spelling yours the same, your luck will change. Maybe so. Actually, like I said in the past, and I do really mean this, on the big things in life, there's not one person on this planet that's luckier than me. But on the little things, the things that don't really matter, look out. Just look out, because it ain't nothing goes right that way. I mean, like nothing. It just one thing after another, constant, all day long, every day. But on the big things, there's nobody luckier. And that's really the truth. Let's see, Ronald, generator on your water. Uh-oh, I lost it. What happened? I guess maybe he removed that one. There he is. He who lets, well, I'll be darned, it's gone. I don't know where that one went. B.H. Ringer, my name is Jerry. Okay, I got that one. Let's see. And there's one that just popped up there with no question mark. Sir, I made one mistake. I repaint my acoustic guitar with local painter, but he did worse work. I want original color to my guitar. How can I get this? Boy, that's a good question. I don't know what he did, or what kind of paint was used. I don't know what all happened. I'm not sure what to suggest there, because I mean, it's not one answer. It could be a myriad of things that you would want to do. I'd have to almost see it or know exactly what happened. For me, if I have to refinish something, for the most part on an instrument, I scrape the old finish off. Use a regular scraper and scrape it off smooth. You got to know what you're doing to do that, because you can make it worse. You could. But if you're good with a scraper and you know how to use it, it comes off clean. You clean all your plastic with it. Everything comes off perfect. You don't hardly have to sand anything. You do have to sand a little bit, but not very much. And then you put your finish back on. So I don't know, Jay. I'm sorry I can't give you a better clue on that, because it's just really hard to say. Ronald, generator on your water wheel, put your electric down there. Huh. Well, I don't know. It's such an out-of-way place. There's really not much that... We don't need much electric down there, other than just to have a little bit of electric maybe for the lights on those two columns there when you come in at night or something. It would be kind of nice to have some lights down there, I guess. Sidecar Bob, is your pain from arthritis, or are the muscles cramping? Believe it or not, Gatorade helps with the cramps. Well, I mean, I'm sure some of it is muscles, but a lot of it is the joints, the pain in the joints, and the hands aching and stuff. I don't know. I just wake up and it hurts, is all I can tell you. A lot of it's in my spine, my back. I think I've lost about an inch and a half in height, because it's supposedly all through my whole spine, according to, what's really weird, like I said, all the doctors up in the St. Louis area, when they x-ray, and plus the specialist down in Springfield, they all see the arthritis and they go, man, it's bad. You got it bad. When I have it checked here in the Raleigh area, they go, we don't see any arthritis. I'm going, are you kidding me? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So I don't know. That's the kind of health care we have around here. So I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. It's a mess. But it's mostly seems to be in the joints is where it hurts the most. But man, I wake up and it just is I don't even know how to, it's not like it's the worst pain I've ever had. It's not that. It's just bad pain and it hurts, Definitely not the worst. I've had way worse. That kidney thing that they screwed up on me, where my kidneys swelled up like the size of grapefruits, and then they botched up the going in and taking the stone out, and they botched that up too, and everything got botched on that whole deal. And now that was some serious pain. That was suicidal pain there. I told you what, I'm not kidding you. If they'd have said, we can't fix your pain right now, but we can give you this pill, it'll kill you, will you take that? And I'd say, sure, give it here. I'd have taken it like that. It hurt that bad. I've never had pain like that before in my whole life. I had a plow fall on this hand, cut the whole thing across here. I mean, all the way from around here. I'm back. It's backwards in the camera. All the way over to my little finger. You can see all the tendons in my hand. That was nothing compared to the pain I had with the kidney thing. I mean, like nothing. I used to think that was a 10. That's like a 6.5. Let's see. David Tharp says, I told my doctor I was seeing spots before my eyes. He asked if I had seen an eye doctor. I said, no, I just see spots. David, you're messed up, man. I'm seriously telling you, you just messed up. Sidecar Bob, I get bad cramps in my legs, so I keep a bottle of Gatorade. Yeah, it was more like in my spine and back last night. It was, hips, everything. Yeah, years ago, back, this was got to be around 2001-ish time frame, somewhere in that time frame. I was having really, really, really bad back problems. I mean, I seriously was out of commission for over 2 weeks. I couldn't even stand up. I was laying on the floor, sliding to the bathroom. It was bad. It was really bad. And they were wanting to operate on me. They were saying, you've got 3 protruding discs. We're going to need to operate on you to fix this. And I said, there ain't no way you're operating on me. It ain't happening. I said, not until I cannot physically move, then you can operate, but not until then. And I was in screaming pain. Well, when they were doing all these x-rays, where I was going with that was the arthritis part of this. You know, they took me in to show me these x-rays and the protruding disc and all this stuff. And they were pointing all that out. And what I'm seeing is these 2 big white splotches in where my hips are. And I'm pointing to that and I'm saying, what is that? And they're going, that's all your arthritis. And they said, it's really bad. I said, well, I don't know. Anyway, that's where I first found out I had a lot of arthritis, And they said, you got it all through your spine too, And I don't know. It was a mess. But my mom and dad both had arthritis, and people try to put it off on what you eat or what you don't eat or this or that. And I just put it off to genetics. My mom and dad both had brown eyes. Did you notice what color mine are? I mean, it's just that kind of thing. Let's see. Kim Wilford says, David, if you see spots, your dog must be a Dalmatian. Paul Akers, how many coats of clear do you put on a guitar Mando build? Well, that really is a big open question there, Paul. However many you think you need, put about 2 or 3 more on and you'll be close. Seriously, I'm not trying to be silly. It's just feels the way, like that's how it feels. Like with lacquer, nitrocellulose lacquer, 12, 15 coats, I don't know, something like that. You put maybe 5 or 6 coats on, wait 3 or 4 days, sand it lightly, put 5 or 6 more coats on, sand it lightly, 3 or 4 more days, 5 or 6 more coats on. It almost never ends. And you wait long enough and you'll need to do it again because it keeps shrinking and going into the pores and all that. So it really depends on the kind of finish. The one that takes probably the least number of coats, even though you'll still need a few coats, is that oil varnish I was telling you about, true oil varnish. That's less coats and maybe even a better acoustic finish. I really like the sound that you get with like an oil varnish like that. But it's not an easy process either. It runs, you can just look at it crooked and it'll run on you. I've never seen finish run easier than that true oil varnish finish. You can't hardly put it on thin enough to keep it from running. It's amazing how hard it is to keep that from running. But if you can put up with that, it takes fewer coats. But you got to put it on as thin as you can possibly put it on. And I can't overemphasize that. Bill Mumbo, been on amlodipine for many years, Jerry, amongst many others. Okay. Well, I'm at least glad to hear somebody has lived a few years with it anyway, because I was kind of reluctant to add something else, but I went ahead and I said, yeah, go ahead, let's do it, because I don't want to have a stroke. But on the other hand, I kind of think that's because mine's not super high. I'm in like the 140, 50 range down, like 90. And it's always been that way. It's been that way when I was a kid. It's always been that way. So I don't know. Do I have high blood pressure, or is that just me? I don't know. And it doesn't, what's really weird is that the medicines don't seem to change it. It just stays about there. So I don't know. Like I said, my body is weird compared to everything. I mean, all medicines, I get the opposite reaction so often. And I don't know if I'm getting the opposite reaction on this. I hope not. I need to be monitoring it more, and I'm supposed to be checking it. I'm real good at that. Yeah. Anyway, Dan Cole, Megan is the daughter of the amazing D.D. Tibbetts. Well, I don't know her either, but I'm telling you that Megan, she kicked on that song now. That's all there is to it. Is it the very best version out there? Well, maybe not, but it's as close to it as you'll get. Joe, hydrocodone, acetaminophen might help for the pain. Yeah, I've tried acetaminophen a million times. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm seriously telling you, I get no effect from acetaminophen, Tylenol or ibuprofen. I get nothing out of either of those. The only thing that helps me even the least little bit is just plain old regular aspirin. And it helps a little, but it doesn't do all that much. Ronald Todd, Paul Try Waterlocks Clear Gloss. It's an oil-based product that works nicely. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hesitate to mention anything that I'm not familiar with, so you can certainly use that, obviously. But I always like to know what the acoustic properties of it are. And the harder the finish, the better. Something that dries crisp and hard, that's what you want. If it dries where it's a little bit soft, like a polyurethane, a lot of times you won't hardly notice the difference anyway in the acoustics, but if you're really good at it, you can probably hear the difference, So I want a good, hard, crisp finish. And you get that with both those finishes I mentioned, the nitrocellulose lacquer, which is a major pain in the rear end, and so is the other one. They're both a pain in the rear end. Well, anyway, that's going to be it, guys. 134 viewers. Thank you all for being here today. We will be back tomorrow with something else.